wants to feel hot, sexy, and beautiful for the rest of your life? Yeah. Yes, we all deserve that. Who would like to feel the vibrant energy that you did when you were younger that you might have lost a little bit of, right? Yes. And if you're still relatively young, who would like to preserve your youthful looks and even your health?
Yes. Health.
So I've always believed that aging is, of course we're going to grow older, but aging is more of a side effect to a bigger problem. It's a symptom of a bigger issue. And we've all just accepted old age as normal, something that just happens. But what if I told you that gray hair and wrinkles could be prevented? Would you believe me?
Yes.
What if I told you that gray hair and wrinkles could be reversed?
Yes.
Do I have your attention?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to tell you all about that in a little bit. But before I get to that, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and what inspired me to write the book Hot for Life, which is in progress. So I know Tara mentioned she hoped I would tell you guys how old I am. So I'm actually in my 60s. Just kidding. No, but it's funny. I'm actually in my 40s, and people really are shocked when they find that out, and people don't believe me. I get carded a lot, which is bizarre to me, and when they see my ID, it's always embarrassing because the bouncer's always like, "All right, girl, go on." I'm like, "It's okay, I'm gonna make a big deal." But a lot of people think that I'm like around 28, 32, which baffles me. And at first, I thought it was really cute and flattering. It was nice to hear, but then I started thinking about it, and I wondered, what am I doing differently? What do I know? Do I have information that could be helpful to other people? So I started really thinking about that, and so I'm going to give you today some of my top tips for what I've done and things that you can begin to do today for yourself. So the first thing is, hotness is a state of mind. Since this is hot and healthy summer, we're going to talk a lot about being hot and owning that. So of course what you eat and how you take care of your skin are super important to looking and feeling beautiful and hot. But it really does begin with how you think, how you speak, what's in your state of mind, how you speak, think, act. So how many of you guys have ever caught yourselves like getting tired or saying things like, "I'm getting old," right? "Oh, I'm getting so old," or "I'm old." Well, stop. Just stop that right now. That is cardinal rule number 1. Don't say things like that, because you will manifest. You will become what you say. And you don't want to be a self-fulfilling prophecy of that. You want to be a self-fulfilling prophecy of health and vibrance. I love that Tara in her talk mentioned passion, because that's my second point. If you want to be hot for life, you literally need to be hot for your life. And when I say that, I don't necessarily mean on the outside. I mean really hot for your life. You need to be joyful, enthusiastic, excited by, passionate, turned on by your life. You actually have to have the hots for your life. You get what I'm saying? So I really encourage you to find something that you can get excited about, a hobby or something that you can get passionate about, especially if you're in a job that drains you. You need to find something that brings you joy, whether it be yoga, music, dancing, a sport. Get involved with something that brings you joy. It's going to really help keep you young. So, for example, I'm a singer, and I've been singing in bands for 20 years. And one of the things that I've noticed is a lot of the musicians look a lot younger than they are. When they tell me their age, I can't believe it. So I used to think it was something about maybe music, but what I've come to realize it's something to do with passion and having purpose and being excited about something, and that's what, having an outlet for yourself. And that's one of the things that's going to help keep you young. And I'll tell you, when I'm doing my thing and I'm in my element, and I love that Tara mentioned something about that. What did you say about when you're on stage and you're doing your thing? You're never going to look as hot as that. And that is the biggest turn on when you're in your space and you're doing what you love. My husband's always, I can see him in the crowd with a big old smile when I'm on stage, because that is a major turn on for him when I'm doing something that I'm passionate about. This is my favorite tip. I actually can credit our friend Nicole over there for this one. Remember this story, Nicole, 10 years ago? So 10 years ago, I was out with Nicole, and she looks at me and she's like, "Christine, stop making that face. Stop making that face." And I was like, she knows what I'm talking about. I'm like, "Well, what that face. And she's like, I don't know, just stop making that face, it's really ugly. And yeah, so that's what she says, we're good friends. And I realized in that moment that we make faces that we're completely unconscious of making. But think about it, you've got to be really aware of the faces that you make. Because remember when you were a kid and your mom told you not to cross your eyes because it's going to stay like that? Right? Well, that might not have been true, but if you continue to make weird faces, like for example, watch people when they go out into the rain or when the wind is blowing, they make the worst faces. I just want to be like, don't make that face, stop making that face. Because literally the muscles in your face are going to form wrinkles and you're going to end up looking like that. So why not be aware of fostering a gentle smile or being aware of not furling your brow, just being aware of your space and your face. Oh wait, no, I wanted to tell you this part. I actually have an acronym for this word, or a secret word for it. My husband and I call it SMIDF. And it's an acronym for Stop Making That Face. It's true. And the reason that we do this is because if we catch each other making some horrible face, we want to remind each other that we don't want to look. I have to look at him for the rest of my life, so I don't want him to look like that when he gets older. That's just a silly little tip. So the next thing is obviously take care of your skin. I know we all know this, but how many of us really do this? I encourage you to use a high-quality skincare line that doesn't have a lot of chemicals in it. And don't use drugstore brands. Like, get something that's quality. Always make sure you remove your makeup before you go to bed, because that eye makeup is going to age and give you dark circles. You want to make sure your face is clear and clean. And don't wear a lot of makeup. Girls, we look older when we have a lot of makeup on. So if you can minimize your makeup, use lighter colors. You want to look fresh, you want to look brighter, you want to look more natural. That's going to help you look a little bit younger. Yeah, you can use that? Don't use any. He says don't use any, yeah. And this is really important. One thing that I've always done is I've always budgeted for monthly facials. For as long as I can remember, I've always had an esthetician who is taking care of my skin. So when you think about where you're going to spend your money, instead of getting a new shirt or a new outfit, maybe you could get a facial. It's very, very important. It's just going to keep your skin looking fresh and beautiful. And also, just be careful with tugging and rubbing your skin and rubbing your eyes, because that's just going to age your skin quickly too. And be careful with cosmetic procedures. I see so many young women who go and they do so much to themselves that, yeah, they don't have wrinkles on their face, but they look older than if they had just kind of let things be a little bit more natural. I'm not saying don't do anything, but also don't wait until you're really needing something. But if you're going to do anything, keep it really subtle and do it gradually, little bit as you go, so it won't be so drastic. All right, so that's what the frivolous stuff. But the real stuff is you've got to get sleep. Sleep is so incredibly important. When you don't have sleep, I know the days that I don't get rest, I wake up the next morning and I look at my 40s. I don't look younger at all. So sleep is so important. Managing your stress, exercising regularly, choosing exercise that isn't going to stress your body. Gentle yoga, things like that. Some exercise will actually raise your cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone. And when you have elevated cortisol levels, that just causes inflammation in your body. It stresses you out. You can get a little bit thicker through the center. So we want to kind of mind that. And speaking of minding what you eat is so important, because a healthy body on the inside is a direct reflection of what you look like on the outside. If you want to improve the look of your skin and you want to prevent premature aging, it's crucial to be mindful of what you eat. So of course, if you're malnourished or you're exhausted, you're going to look malnourished and exhausted on the outside. So wrinkles and aging are a side effect of a much bigger issue. I mentioned that in the beginning. And that bigger issue is inflammation. Inflammation and damage, free radical damage from unhealthy food and lifestyles. So let's talk about inflammation a little bit. If you can identify what's going to cause inflammation in your body, then you can begin to reduce the inflammation in your body. So I'm sure you guys have heard some of this, and some of it might be new for you. Of course, processed foods are going to cause inflammation. But first, let me tell you a little bit about what inflammation is. You know when you scratch your arm and you can see like a little red mark on your arm? So inflammation, imagine the inside of your body is the same way. And every time you have stress in your life, you have an unhealthy food choice or an unhealthy lifestyle choice, you're getting kind of these little scratches on the inside of your body. So if you're finding that your skin is looking a little bit wrinkled, it's a good sign that you've got internal inflammation. So if you could reduce the foods that are going to give you that inflammation, it's going to help your skin look nicer. And then also, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you can do to fight inflammation from the other direction. So processed foods, gluten and other processed grains, oils. A lot of people don't realize this. When you cook oils, it's causing a lot of inflammation in your body. Cooked food in general is going to cause inflammation in your body. And then, of course, meat and dairy are the biggest causes of inflammation in your body. I actually stopped eating meat about over 20 years ago. And I think that is a big contributor. Thank you. And I think that's a big contributor to why people believe and people feel that I look so much younger than I actually am. Because all of those years I haven't been damaging my body. We know that meat is highly acidic to the body. And it causes heart disease and cancer and immune inflammatory responses and digestive issues. There can be so many things that are going on that are causing inflammation in your body that are showing up on your exterior. So if you could remove those foods, it's going to help to calm the inflammation in your body. And of course, the actual process of digesting the meat itself steals energy from your body and drains you. The next is to reduce caffeine. It's also very acidic. But the other thing is, I can always tell when my clients walk in the door if there's somebody who's got a bad caffeine habit or bad coffee. I can see they're drawn a little bit in their eyes, or they just have a little bit more wrinkles on the side. And it's because they're chronically dehydrated. So that's going to dehydrate you. So the next thing would be to increase the water intake. Water is so incredibly important. And we all know this, but most of us are just not drinking enough water. So if you could just have a bottle of water with you all the time, that's going to really help your skin look much more plump. Also, alcohol, reducing alcohol as the worst for inflammation. You can see the next morning after I've been out with my friends, every single line on my face is accentuated. And again, that's from the dehydration, among other things. All right, so the most important thing that I could leave you with today is to eat a plant-based diet. The reason for that is because, especially if it's raw, it's highly nutritious, plant-based, enzyme-rich food. It's not only going to make you feel better and give you more energy, but it's going to make you literally glow. Actually, in times that I have had been completely raw, vegan, didn't eat any cooked food, are the times that I've gotten the most compliments on my skin. And there's a bunch of reasons why this is so. First of all of this raw food is full of water. We just talked about water, and also oxygen. So the oxygen goes into your bloodstream, and it's going to increase your blood flow and speed. Boys, going to increase your blood flow. You know what I'm saying? It's going to speed healing. Yes, every man should be a vegan if you ask me. But yeah. All right, so then it's going to help and aid in the healing and recovery of all the processes of the body. And then it's full of digestive enzymes. So all plant food has enzymes in it. And I'll just give you a little explanation. I'm sure Abby will tell you a little bit about this too, of what enzymes are. So enzymes are in all plant food, and we need this food to digest it. But as soon as we cook that food, 100% of those enzymes are going to get killed off. But our bodies know how to adapt. So our bodies will stop doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is all this other healthy, glowy energy stuff, and it's going to put that aside, and then it's going to go to digest our food. So that's why when you eat cooked food, you're always tired afterwards. When you eat healthy, raw, plant-based food, you have more energy, you're not tired. You can actually work out after you eat on raw food. And it also, because it has all those enzymes, you're going to be able to digest the nutrients that are in it. When you cook, a lot of the nutrients are going to get cooked out of that food. The proteins are going to be cooked in half. They're going to be taken in half. So the enzymes are going to help your body to utilize 100% of the proteins and the nutrients that exist in that food. So you need less of that food, and it's really going to make you glow. So think about this. As babies, they're born full of enzymes. And as we grow older, the reason that we age is because through our lifestyle, through eating cooked food, and just the stress and the environment and toxins, and everything starts to chip away. Imagine if this was a bank account. So all of those things that I mentioned are going to chip away at that bank account until the end of your life. When your life is over, you have no more enzymes left. So when you eat raw plant-based food, instead of taking away from that bank account, you're adding. Every single time that you eat, you're adding to that bank account. So that's why you'll see sometimes raw foodists who are in their 70s who look like they're in their 40s. There's lots of them. Google it. It's crazy. Also, if you take enzymes, since I'm not perfect either. I mean, I've eaten tons of cooked food. I ate cooked food today. You know, it's not like I'm 100% raw vegan, but because of that, I like to take enzymes as well. I take enzymes. I take about 15 enzymes a day, just throughout before each meal. And the reason for that is that not only does it help digest foods that are cooked, even if it's a 100% raw vegan meal, I still take enzymes because the electromagnetic energy of the enzymes reduces the free radical damage that causes aging. So that's why we take enzymes. I always wondered that. Why do we take enzymes if we're eating raw? And it's really to make up for past. All right, my most favorite thing is a daily green juice. I drink green juice every day, and I have been doing this for years and years and years. I call it my youth and beauty serum. I actually juice it myself, and it's going to be 50% green sprouts, like sunflower and pea sprouts, and then the other 50% vegetables. If you can't juice it yourself, then you can go to, there's tons of juice bars all over the city, but I recommend that you drink fresh, cold pressed juice. And I recommend that you drink vegetable juices, the green juices, not so much the ones with all the fruit in it. I see a lot of fruity juices with a little bit of greens. Hey, listen, if you've never had a green juice before and you need to start there, then great. But you really want to get to the point where you can drink a juice that's 50% sprouts. And by the way, sunflower sprouts have more protein and more nutrients in them than any other food aside from wheatgrass juice, which takes me to my next point. So wheatgrass juice. I have a shot of wheatgrass juice every single morning. My husband has a shot of wheatgrass juice every morning. And it's an entire other talk to tell you the list of benefits that wheatgrass juice has. But I will tell you this. This is a true story. It's crazy. So remember when I said the thing about reversing gray hair? All right, so this is what happens. I've, first of all, never seen a gray hair once on myself. And I really attribute that to everything that I've been telling you and the green juices and the wheatgrass. But you know, my husband, he's got like a little bit in the sideburns. And when we go on vacation, he gets really gray on the sides because he's not drinking his wheatgrass juice every day. And then we go home, and this is where I really started to recognize the power of wheatgrass juice. After about a week of being back on the wheatgrass juice, I tell you the truth, his hair grows in its natural color. Yes, he cuts the gray out. And this is from wheatgrass because it has so many benefits. He doesn't drink my sprouty juice, by the way. It's just, so it's got to be the wheatgrass. Yeah, wow. I have a dealer, I call my grass dealer. He comes to my house. I'm serious. He brings me all my sprouts and my wheatgrass, and my doorman's always like, "You got a grass delivery?" Yeah. But I'm telling you, I can give you guys his number if you want. You gotta have like the right juicer for it. Yeah, Debbie's like, yeah, who wants to not have gray hair? The other beauty food that I highly, highly recommend are sea vegetables. And I'm not talking about that stringy stuff you get at the Japanese restaurant. I'm talking about hardcore sea vegetables like arame and kelp and dulse. And I put that shit on everything. Like on my salads, everywhere. Sea vegetables are so important, and they're amazing because they're considered to be anti-aging. They're incredible for your hair, skin, nails, and all of your body tissues. They're very, very high in minerals. There's so many incredible benefits from sea vegetables. All right. So basically, that just scratches the surface of the tips that are in my new book, Hot for Life. But how many of you guys are ready to just become vegans? Yeah, we got one. Okay, one. Because it's hard, because it's scary. But I do want to just mention that you're going to see a lot more of plant-based restaurants opening and vegan restaurants and vegetarian restaurants. I actually was talking to John George, which is one of the best restaurateurs in the city. And he told me, "Christine, I'm opening a vegetarian restaurant." He was so excited. And you're going to see so much of this happening. And the reason is because what we're doing as far as the amount of animal consumption, the amount of meat that we're eating in the Western culture and dairy, it's completely unsustainable. And you're going to just start to see that whether you like it or not, it's not going to be as available. We're talking like, our future generations, but you're already seeing it now. So why not be educated on how to heal your body, how to eat well, and how to take care of yourself so that you get the most amount of nutrients, that you have energy, that you're not craving stuff. And I love all of Tara's tips with all the emotional stuff, but it's emotional as well. But at the same time, if you're not getting your nutrients met, and you're not doing it properly, you're going to go back to your old habits. So what I've done is I've developed an online course called Thrive Eating Live. And I've been doing it for for 3 years live in person, but I was very limited to maybe 10 or 13 people, sort of everybody I could fit around my big dining room table. So I decided to put the entire thing online so that from the comfort of your own home, you can learn how to be a raw vegan in the most effective way that's going to be the most nourishing and the most satisfying and the most fun. It's a module-based program, so each week you'll learn a different topic, and you'll have the whole week to practice it. And at the end of the week, we'll have a webinar, and everybody will go onto the webinar where you'll have support from me. You'll have handouts that have all the information where you'll be learning what to do. You'll have recipes, and I'll even have little videos for you so that if you're a visual person. So I'll show you how to make things and how to do things. So that's going to be coming out. It's a 10-week program. That's going to be coming out in the fall. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about that. So there are resources, whether you do it with me or you go to Hippocrates Health Institute or you get a book, there's great resources. But I encourage that even if you're not interested in becoming a vegan, that you educate yourself on plant-based foods, because this is the direction that you're going to see that our culture is going. It's inevitable. We have to do it. Thank you.